The comic begins in Gotham City during a snowy December, with carolers singing in front of houses. While they continue singing a carol, they are attacked and killed by large, bat-like humanoid creatures. When Batman and Robin arrived at the crime scene, the people were already dead, each with a single puncture wound on their necks. Batman concludes that with all their prime enemies like Joker, Two-Face, and Penguin currently locked up in prison, the killings during the holiday season must be the work of an unknown foe they have never faced before. Closely examining the crime scene and the bodies, he assumed that this was the work of some expert, and that it couldn't be his villain Man-Bat. At that moment, the rather hot magician Zatanna arrived to help them. Could they be vampires? Batman asked. No, the puncture wound is only one, so it can't be vampires, Zatanna explained, using magic to recreate what had happened. They are the Drog. She explained that, like Thor and Odin, they are large bat monsters from Norse mythology that suck blood like vampires. Batman threw a batarang at the face of a monster, running from behind to attack Zatanna, causing the mythical monster to flee. But another one grabbed Damian by the neck and dragged him away. Before it could fly very far, a wooden stake from a crossbow pierces its chest directly. The one who threw it was none other than Santa Claus, the Lord of Christmas, riding a large reindeer. Zatanna was surprised to see Santa. Batman called him Chris familiarly. This also beautifully incorporates Kris Kringle, one of Santa's other names. As Santa descended, he greeted, Zatanna Zatara, 1964, Foxhawk Lane. On the other hand, Damian was disappointed that the Santa he didn't believe in was real. At this time, Batgirl and Nightwing sent news that an attack had occurred near Gotham City Cemetery, so Batman and the others rushed to the scene. The excellent son Nightwing quickly captured these bat monsters with ropes. But since they were not ordinary humans but powerful monsters, they struggled and tried to bite and attack Nightwing. Just right on time, Santa saved him by having the reindeer kick the large creatures away. Looking at the surprised Dick, he greeted, Grayson, 1007, Mountain Drive. You will notice that Santa is introducing people while mentioning house numbers. Although he introduces people like this, he didn't greet Damian, who doesn't believe in Santa and doesn't usually write letters. Continuing, as the number of these monsters increased, Batman arrived carrying Zatanna as well. As soon as they arrived, Zatanna opened a portal to a place with daylight and sunlight, causing these bat monsters to flee. The light-fearing bat monsters fled as soon as they saw it. These creatures are numerous and powerful. We need more help, Santa explained to Batman. On the other hand, Zatanna pulled a large library out of her hat and explained one of Santa's origins from the stories of Santa Claus, which would be the canon for this comic. Once upon a time, in Norse mythology, there was a woodworker named Santa Claus, also known as the Crafter, who was respected and recognized even by great Vikings like Freya and Thor. Because it was a time when great monsters roamed and rampaged, they held great monster hunting festivals every year. In these festivals, the craftsmen would often go hunting with great warriors like Odin and Thor, to hunt down and eliminate the great monsters. One day, the craftsman went out to hunt a beastman called the Krampus, who roamed the forests. But upon seeing this monster, he realized that Krampus was more like a naughty child and liked to frighten children, deriving pleasure from their frightened faces and emotions. After realizing this, the craftsman decided not to kill the monster. Instead, he thought there was no need to kill Krampus and chose to tame him and bring him along. As they tried to return after the hunt, a massive storm blocked their way. Due to the Ragnarok, the destruction of Asgard, they were trapped and left behind on Earth. As years passed, the number of people who worshipped the gods decreased, and the gods faded and disappeared. Only the two of them remained. Krampus continued to frighten children as was his nature. To comfort the crying children, Santa Claus would give them toys and gifts to stop their tears. And so, as time gradually passed, the tradition of Christmas evolved, with Krampus as the monster who scared children, and Santa Claus as the old man who gave them gifts. Santa stopped Zatanna's story, saying silly tales, and returned to the present time. Immediately after hearing the story, Damian pointed out, it was Krampus. And yes, just as Damian said, Krampus's terrifying voice emerged from a monster corpse nearby. Saying, I left you a gift, a poisonous plant emerged from the corpse's chest. And the plant sprayed green liquid, covering Zatanna's face, who was nearby. Smoke emerged from the corpse's mouth, and Krampus awakened. We started this thing called Christmas together, but you cast me away into the wasteland, Krampus said resentfully to Santa. Now I am back in the world. I will take this special day and make it mine. You should have killed me. Now I will unleash all the monsters from the end of mythology, like the Drog from before. I will turn Christmas into a day filled with brutal killings and misery. Ho ho ho, Krampus declared, and then he disappeared. Santa took the injured Zatanna to heal her, and left a gift box for Batman and the others. When they returned to the Batcave and opened the box, Santa showed them Krampus's origin story, taking Batman and the others into the past with him. In an ancient place, some naughty children were ganging up and bullying a girl. Krampus, who punishes these naughty children, appeared and captured them. He put one of them into the sack on his back. Tonight, I'll eat child. I'll make child soup, he said. Santa arrived and asked, we are supposed to make the bad ones disappear. What are you doing? Krampus laughed and replied, I'm making the bad ones disappear by putting them in my belly. These are naughty kids, sneaky, thieving kids. Santa approached and told the children not to be naughty again, frightening them by saying Krampus would eat them, and then released them. The children became well-behaved, and their naughtiness disappeared. And so, as time passed, people came to love Santa and stopped doing bad things. Because they no longer did bad things, they were no longer afraid of Krampus. They began to mock him. For Krampus, who only found joy in seeing another's fear, this became like a hell, a curse. Therefore, one day, Krampus captured the children who were mocking him. Because of the frightened and worried parents and their prayers, Santa arrived at Krampus and asked, Where are the children? The deceitful Krampus laughed and replied, Krampus ate them. Krampus ate them all. Therefore, Santa became angry and banished Krampus by striking him with a stone. He banished Krampus to a wasteland of living ghosts, where no one could harm Krampus, and Krampus could not harm anyone. But soon after, the crying mother found her son safe and unharmed. The truth is, the children were safe. Krampus had even given them snacks to keep them quiet. Realizing that he had made a huge mistake, Santa quickly went to the dark wasteland, calling out, Krampus, hear me. I will take you home, as he searched for him. He searched for Krampus for years. But he had banished him with great force. Even though he searched, he couldn't find Krampus. He couldn't hear his laughter anymore. He had completely disappeared as if he had never existed. From that time until now, Santa hasn't seen him. Santa lamented regretfully, saying that being alone in the wasteland for centuries must have greatly damaged his mind. But it can't be helped. Krampus has returned. And he is going to destroy everything. So, if you're interested in how characters like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Arrow will get involved in this mess, please subscribe to the channel to watch the next new video. See you in the next videos, guys. Have a beautiful day.